The following program is underwritten by the Nevada Irrigation District. Since 1921, providing clean and healthy drinking and irrigation water to more than 24,000 homes, farms, schools, and businesses in Nevada and Placer counties.
Sitzer, host of NCTV, and today we've got a spicy program for you. With fall, it is the time of peppers as well as other vegetables, and we have with us a wonderful assortment of women from the community who have produced a cookbook in both English and Spanish, bilingual cookbook, and I want to introduce everyone. So we have Avila Lawrence, who is the producer of the cookbook, and we have Fatima Hernandez, who is an artist within the cookbook and student at Nevada Union High School. We have Delia Gutierrez, who is the chef at Las Catarinas, the Mexican restaurant in Nevada City, and Irma Calderon, who is a teacher at Nevada Union. So welcome, and we're happy to have you here. We're happy to actually be seeing this production of the cookbook in Spanish and English, so it's really going to be a wonderful addition to our community, and let's talk about it. So Avila, if you would please introduce us to the cookbook and to the Collaborando organization.
All right, well first let me mention that the English title of the cookbook is Chili Peppers, Spicing It Up, and in Spanish that's Chiles para darle sazón. So on the front of the cookbook we have the English cover, and on the back the Spanish cover, which is the same people on the front, but you see them from the back. And this cookbook was published by Collaborando en Español, which is an organization made up of men and women in Nevada County who work for various agencies which work with the Hispanic population. So the members of Collaborando have come to know many wonderful families, many wonderful Mexican families in Nevada County, and we were inspired to speak to them about their favorite recipes about 2 years ago. Some of us sat down at their tables and ate some of the delicious food that comes from their family traditions, and we decided to do a cookbook and to include family recipes in the cookbook.
So this is a very personal cookbook.
It's a very personal cookbook because we know all of the people who gave us a recipe, and in the cookbook there's a story, a little short story about everyone at the bottom of the recipe.
So you really, pardon the pun, but you really get a flavor for each recipe, each family, each participant.
Yes, yes. We have 12 different states in Mexico represented in the cookbook, 25 recipes, all using chili peppers, and of those 25 recipe contributors, 12 states in Mexico are represented.
So this is more than a cookbook.
It really is, because it's more than just recipes. It's also about the people who gave us the recipes, and it's also about using chili peppers in your cooking. So there's sections in the cookbook that describe how to prepare chilies, where to find them, what the differences are in different chilies, how to substitute when you can't find certain ingredients. Mexican cooking is a little bit quite different from American cooking in terms of the preparation when you're using chili peppers.
Now, is this the first project for Collaborandos?
This is our first project, yes, and we hope that many projects will grow from this one.
Right. So in that sense, I know the cookbook is for sale, and we'll be showing all the various restaurants, bookstores, businesses that are offering it for sale. But the intent is to sell the cookbook, make a profit, and to do, what do you have in mind?
So thank you for asking that, because that's really the purpose of the cookbook. Well, there's two purposes. One is to create a bridge between the Spanish-speaking population of Nevada County and the wider part of Nevada County. And the second purpose is, once we start selling the cookbook and start making a profit, hopefully making a profit, then the earnings from the cookbook will be returned back into the Spanish-speaking community for projects such as language classes, health information, and cross-cultural understanding. We haven't quite decided on how we're going to use all of our money yet. We have to see how much we have to use, but we hope to grow many different projects from this one project, and who knows, there might be another cookbook out there waiting.
Right, and this is actually modeled after another cookbook that was produced in Mendocino County.
It is. We have a companion cookbook called Secrets of Salsa, Secretos de Salsa, and that's a cookbook that was created by the Mexican women of the Anderson Valley in Mendocino County, and it's a wonderful book of 25 or I think maybe 30 salsas. And we really stole their idea, because their book is also very personal in that it gives a little story about each person who contributed a salsa recipe. And those recipes are all old, authentic family recipes for salsa from different parts in Mexico.
Wonderful. And of course, this is a wonderful time of year to launch the cookbook, because it's holiday season. It's a time when many families will be at home cooking. It's a wonderful gift idea. It's a way to support the community. I mean, it's great timing. So let's talk a little bit about how this cookbook came together. So Fatima, we have you as the artist. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the cookbook and what you contributed?
Well, first, Irma asked me to do it because they were looking for an artist. So I said, yeah, I can do it. And I thought it was going to be fun. And I don't know, I think it's a great experience.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Was it more work than you thought it would be?
Yeah, because I had to think all this stuff, like my ideas, how to do all the drawings, and yeah.
So is this something that maybe art may be part of a career that you follow?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know.
Artists are not known for making much of a living these days.
Yeah, that's why maybe as a hobby.
As
maybe,
a hobby, yeah.
Yeah.
So Irma, you teach at Nevada Union. Tell us a little about what you teach and what your experience is, and what made you think of Fatima.
Okay. First, I want to start with that I belong to the organization Collaborandos en Español. I have been since the very beginning with Avila.
How long ago has that been? When you say
5 years.
5 years already?
Yes, 5 years. And but this is the first project we have. And when we thought about the book, and we decided that we want, to have a Hispanic artist. So I thought about Fatima because she is one of my students at Nevada Union, and I saw the beautiful artwork that she, well, not only her, but her sister. And so when I offered her, she right away, she said, sure, I can, And so, yeah, that's how we got her involved.
And what do you teach at Nevada Union?
I teach the English learners, students, anybody from another countries who come to United States and they are learning the language. So I work mainly with Hispanics, but also I work with all the exchange students. Oh. I am so lucky because I think I have the best part of all Nevada Union. I have I call them my United Nations classroom. You know? Yeah, so I have students from all over the world.
Well, I know that when I taught at Nevada Union and Bear River High School, I always said to the counselors, send me the exchange students, you know, give me the foreign students, because they bring such a rich experience from their own countries. They contribute so much to class, to discussions, and it's just wonderful to have that mix of people.
Yeah, you just learn so much from them, you know, and they are so unique and different.
I know that when when I taught at Nevada Union, the influx of students, Hispanic students, was beginning to grow. And do you have any idea of the percentage of Hispanic students now?
I don't, but I think we have something about 50, I will say.
15%?
No,
Yeah.
not 15%.
Oh, 15 students?
50.
Oh,
50 students.
50 students.
Yeah,
It's
50
like 1%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's still small.
Yeah,
Very
it's
small.
But I understand that the lower grades in elementary school have a higher percent
Yes.
of Hispanic students.
Yeah,
And so we can expect that to be more part of our educational mission, is
Yes.
to work more with Hispanic students. And we have a growing percentage in the community.
yeah.
We do, excuse me, but
Sure.
about, I don't know, 6 months ago, the Baptist Church did a survey of Nevada County and found that there are 2,500 Hispanic people in western Nevada County. That doesn't count Truckee. So our Hispanic population is definitely growing.
Yeah.
Right, so it's good that the bridge is being
Yes.
constructed, and this is the first project of the bridge. And Delia, I have left you to last because you are the real professional here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you are chef for Las Catarinas,
Yes.
and you've also contributed to the cookbook.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your recipes for the cookbook?
Sure. When I met Avila and she talked to me about the book, I was very excited. And obviously, I don't want to give any recipe from Las Catarinas. You gotta come to Las Catarinas to find out our flavors in the restaurant. But I tried to find two recipes. One is very simple, and one is very complicated. So the simple is the pineapple salsa recipe that I give her, and it's great for chips. It's great for any kind of meat that you make. And the other one reminds me the cooking that my mom used to do at home. She's still cooking that way. About salsa de chile negro. It's a chile pasilla is how we call it. And I was sharing experience with Avila about this salsa with my mother. She used to make the salsa when there was a little bit of money at home. But you can do great things with this salsa. So you can use it with scrambled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, or any kind of meat that you want. So I was very lucky to be invited by her about collaborate this book and to do my part to support the Spanish population.
Well, it's great.
We're lucky to have her recipes, too.
I know that having grown up in Southern California myself, that I grew up with Mexican food all the time, and as a result, I think we do more cooking at home with Mexican food than any other kind of regional cooking. So I think it's very popular, and you can tell by the number of Mexican restaurants in the area that have grown.
Yep.
Used to be there were very few here. So it's really increased. I think it's very popular in the palate of Americans now for food. I think even more so than pizza.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So, can you tell us more about the recipes that are in the book?
Well, Irma has a recipe in the
Yes,
book,
I do.
which is a very delicious recipe. It's a vegetarian recipe called rajas con crema. And she can tell you a little bit about that. But
Yeah.
before she does that, let me also mention that her husband has a recipe in the cookbook also.
Yeah. Yeah,
Please.
it's a great book.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, lucky. He got to cook for me. Yeah, my recipe, I just learned that recipe from my sister in Mexico. Her name is Adriana. And she has a sister-in-law who is vegetarian. So she loves to cook, and she learned how to cook that recipe just because of her sister-in-law. Anytime that she comes and visits, she fixes rajas con crema, and it's really good. My husband, like Avila said, he also has a recipe on the book, and his recipe is called Jose's Special. We don't have a name for it. Just we just love that recipe. It's really delicious. And he said that he learned to cook that recipe when he came to the United States and he had to cook for himself. So he said he was just adding stuff to the pot, and it's so delicious. And besides cooking, he also does gardening. We own the El Coyorillo landscaping, and he has been on business for 17 years, I think.
And is it based here in this community?
Based here in this community, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited because having recently retired from working at the TV station, I now have new duties at home, new cooking duties.
Yeah.
And so I was telling Delia that last night I was making burritos for us, and so I'm really looking forward to trying out the recipes.
Yeah, try the one that Jose created. It's
will.
very easy.
I will do
It's
that.
really
That's
easy.
great. I have to thank Jose.
Yeah.
I'd just like to mention another part about the cookbook is that we have 35 businesses and individuals from Nevada County who have supported the cookbook. We got our kind of first down payment for it by asking for people to sponsor pages in the cookbook, and 35 businesses came forth and sponsored a page, and those are all listed at the bottom of each recipe.
page?
Each recipe has a sponsor, and Las Catarinas is one of the sponsors. El Coyote Joe is another sponsor.
Yeah.
So we were able to get off and running by the very wonderful support from our business community here. The Kiwanis Club of Grass Valley Gold Country Kiwanis got us started, our very first contribution, and we've been supported by the California First Five Commission and St. Patrick's Catholic Church, and we've got a very broad base of support within the community.
Yeah, and also I was surprised to see all the places that are offering the cookbook for sale. It's not just a couple. It's almost everywhere in the community.
It's a broad base of stores.
Yeah,
It's not
so-
just restaurants.
Right. Yeah, and there's going to be a special book signing at the library. You want to mention that at all?
Yes, that will be on December the 7th at the Madeline Helling Library in the afternoon. And we will have some of the recipe contributors there to talk about the recipes and to sign the book, sign their recipe page. And we're also going to have a surprise dessert there made with chocolate and chili peppers.
Ooh.
We're not telling what it is, and you have to get there you have to go there to taste
can
it.
you give us the time? It's December 7th. It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
You got my attention.
Okay. It will be from 1 to 3 in the afternoon in the community room. Children are welcome. Warm drinks will be served, and a very delicious surprise chocolate treat.
Oh, wonderful. And of course, the cookbook will be available for sale.
And the cookbook will be available for sale. We also have an event coming up at Tessa's Kitchen Store on November the 1st, where there will be a book signing, and one of the contributors to the cookbook will be preparing her special soup for tastes at that event, and that will be from 12 to 3 on November the 1st, and that's on a Saturday.
Right. I remember that because it's the same day we have our large telethon here for 12 hours, live TV.
Yes.
And Tess has been one of the supporters of that telethon over the years.
Yeah,
So
they're a wonderful support
that's
for the
Rita,
whole community.
who owns and runs the store.
Rita's been a great support to us, and she's been very interested in the cookbook, and we're grateful to her.
I'm interested in the organization. It's been going now for about 5 years. How large has it become? Where do you meet? How often do you meet?
We meet once a month. Anybody's welcome to come to the meetings, by the way. We sometimes speak only in Spanish, but we also, if there's a person who's not Spanish speaking, we speak in English. And so anybody is welcome to come. We'd love to have even a larger membership. And there's no formal signing up for it. It's just who comes. Our size varies from, sometimes there'll be 12 people there, sometimes there'll be 3 or 4, but we've been able to keep it going for 5 years just because all of us who come to those meetings are deeply involved in the Hispanic community here. We have lots of personal relationships with Hispanic families here, and that causes us to keep coming to these meetings even though it looks like maybe there's only 2 or 3 people there at one time, but we keep coming back the next time because this is important work for all of us.
Right, and it's building. It takes time.
It's building,
to build an
and
organization.
we're hoping the cookbook will help to, bring the Hispanic community out into the greater community, get people talking to each other.
We are a nation of immigrants.
We are a nation of immigrants.
And as someone who taught U.S. history for many, many years, I certainly brought that out. And often, if not always, the immigrant population is very hardworking.
Extremely.
And I think that can easily be described for the Hispanic community. I'm sure your husband in his landscaping business
Yes.
has experienced that. And so it's a difficult thing to bring in a part of the community that has been, in a way, accused, and there's a lot of fear, with jobs now and the economy, and yet, in fact, if you study history, Mexico was part of owned California before we did, so
That's right.
they've been here. The Hispanic community has been here a long time.
That's right.
So. What do you have thoughts about ways in which to further integrate the Hispanic community with our local community?
Yes, we do. We've been recently talking about that, and Irma has brought up the idea, and I'll let her talk about it, of some projects that we have in mind that we'd like to bring the wider community of Grass Valley to the Hispanic community in a certain way, rather than, we're kind of looking at it from the other direction.
Yeah.
So Irma.
We want to start new projects. Like we said, this is just the first step. And we want to start doing more projects like outreach, but showing them our culture. It's so beautiful. And one of the things we want really to start is having like workshops, teaching them how to make crochet, not crochet, but paper flowers, paper mache, all that stuff. We have lots of things to offer, beautiful things to offer. And we want to start doing those workshops and invite everybody to come.
That's great. And in fact, I'm reminded that I think November 1st, is that Dia de la Muerte?
Yeah.
Muertos, okay.
And we are having a altar.
Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are having an altar. The altar show that is
Right.
going on at the fairgrounds. We have an altar, and we're gonna have the book there, and we call them Recuerdos de México. That's how we call them.
Memories?
Memories from Mexico. And everything on the altar, it's going to be part from Mexico. Everything from pictures from, our loved ones who already leave us, and artwork,
Right.
etc. So.
My wife went out this morning to work on the altar.
Yes, we
and-
were there. Yeah, we were there working, and
Yeah,
tomorrow we're
so,
going to keep on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the altar show now at the fairgrounds happens every year. It's a wonderful tribute to those who have died, you know, memories and ancestors. Do you know the dates of the altar show?
Saturday is the opening day, and it's going to
November
go
1st?
all the, yes.
November 1st?
And it's going to go all the way to November 4th.
4th, I think.
Yeah, November 4th. And at the altar we are having there, we're going to have a recipe for the pan de muerto.
Oh,
And also an
Bread of the dead?
explanation, bread of the dead. And we are also having an explanation of what is an altar in Mexico. So, you know, just a little bit of information there.
Because the memories from Mexico are not only of loved ones and of traditions, but memories of wonderful recipes too. So
Yes.
that's kind of, because the cookbook is now our project, we're offering recipes as well.
Yes.
that's great. And it's a wonderful way to get educated about other cultures that are our neighbors or cultures that are present within our own community. Because one of the things Americans have been accused of is that we're ignorant of the world. And I think a lot of that is true, that we could become much better educated and appreciate everything around us, you know, all the culture, the food. The foods are wonderful, of course, from every
Yeah,
culture.
we was talking about before the interview about the reputation the Spanish people have right here. And we was mentioning about good restaurants with fine food, fine music, good music, clean and beautiful atmosphere. We do have those things in Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay? And we was mentioned this before. And the project that she has in hands is wonderful because the Spanish culture in Mexico is just unique and different to what American people believe.
Well, so this is a bridge and an invitation to the altar show to participate in the Hispanic culture that is part of our community, to get a cookbook for the holidays that makes a wonderful gift. I want to thank you all very much for this conversation. It was wonderful
Thank you.
and rich
Thank you.
and fun. So we have Avila Lawrence and Delia Hernandez and, no, Delia, excuse me, Delia Gutierrez, Fatima Hernandez, and Irma Calderon. It's a pleasure. I hope you've all enjoyed the show, and please continue to watch NCTV as well as become a member of NCTV. We have a telethon coming up November 1st, so thank you all for watching, and see you next time.